Welcome to Neo Royal House of Pricey Cardboard. We have a very special episode for you today. I will be joined by Demented Kirby from the Commander Tavern, Chain from Chain of Commander, and Nick, also known as G3 from MTG Lexicon. Links to their socials will be available in the description, but let's jump into this explosive self-milling death battle. This episode, as all of our content, is brought to you by our very generous patrons. Liz just joined the valuable uncommons, and I can't thank you enough, all of you. We'll be playing a 4-player Sidisi Brood Tyrant match. As we are all playing the same commander, I did my WinCon screens a bit different to help visualize the difference between the decks. I'll start with my version as it is a pretty standard one. I run an infinite less optimized version of Sidisi, a lot of self-mill, reanimators, and looking to close by combat damage with zombies or triggers from Conrad or even the Scarab God. I took out some stats from the decks out of curiosity. I run 44 creatures and the deck has an average CMC of 347. The list comes out at $5.59 on Archidec TCG price. Nick's version is the budget list of the group, at 156 on Archidec, 38 creatures and an average CMC of 345. All the base stuff for CDC are covered, and I'm almost tempted to call it a 3-color Hidden Commander Jarad Golgari Lich Lord, as a lot of creatures in the list will get huge real fast from his graveyard. He's running Hermit Druid, but with a lot of basics. Chain's version is a spicy one. When he did his video about cards that were going around the singleton rule, the idea was born to put green, blue and black together to form a rat colony deck. CDC was a great choice for this as she wants a lot of creatures in the list anyway. Last but not least, Demented Kirby brought the big guns to the fight. His version is running powerful lands, combos and a lot of fetches. This list goes up above $1,000 without the duals and the Gaia's Cradle, so we're gonna need to fight hard to pull this one. He runs 39 creatures and an average CMC of 381. His opening hand contains Turntimber Sower, Tamio Collector of Tales, City of Brass, Marsh Flats, Misty Rain Forest, Breeding Pool, and a Tropical Island. Pretty heavy on lands, but I'm sure we will appreciate the first slow turns. Turntimber is really good with CDC, and I will be adding it to my list in the future. Chain's opening hand contains 3 Rat Colony, Maroon Hour, Fable Passage, Nurturing Peatland, and a basic Swamp. Seems like a pretty good hand, 3 Colony to get the party started, good fixing in the lands, and Maroon Hour to go even wider. The fear might not matter as much since everybody will have black zombies. My opening hand contains Muldrota the Gravetide, Avengal Lich, the Gitrog Monster, Mausoleum Secrets, Overground Tomb, and Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. I went down to 6 and it still wasn't that great of a hand. Let's just hope a top deck lands, I guess. Nick's opening hand contains Hermit Druid, Liliana Untouched by Death, Undead Ogre, Wood Elves, Vivid Marsh, Overgrown Tomb, and a basic island. Seems like a sweet hand, great fixing in the lands, some ramp, some draw, and self-mill. He gets to start this off.
Oh, don't forget to set your commander, Nick.
Yes, Sidisi, of course.
People can't figure it out.
Alright, so what does your commander do, guys? I'm not sure.
I thought we were playing Blood Bowl, come on.
And land drops a Vivid Marsh. Chain land drops a Fable Passage, cracking it for an island tapped. Kirby land drops Marsh Flat, cracking it for Zagat Triumph. I land drop Overgrown Tomb and pass. Nick land drops an Overgrown Tomb as well. And Chain land drops a Swamp before casting the first Rat Colony of the game.
Rat Colony.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait, is this a Rat Colony build?
No, I only play one Rat Colony. I don't know what we're talking about.
Seems sus.
Yeah, that's a little sus right there.
Kirby land drops Windswept Heath. He cracks it for an Overgrown Tomb, joining the club and passing. I land drop an island and cast Altar of Dementia. Nick land drops Vivid Creek. He then casts Hermit Druid. We encourage Shane to join our Toon Club, but he land drops a Mirror Breeding Pool, before casting another Rat Colony. He goes to combat and sends a rat to me. Kirby land drops a Morphic Pool, and casts Turntimber Sower before passing. I land drop Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth.
I'm gonna play Urborg, so y'all got swamps.
Yay, swampy boy.
I'm gonna pay 3.
And cast a Shiok Dream Render.
Oh,
That's
no.
not as nice.
That changes my plans a little bit.
Yeah, it's the anime villain appears.
Yes.
He was nice enough to both turn off our fetches, but also allow them to tap them at him.
I -1 a Shiok, milling myself 4 cards. Nick land drops a Command Tower. He then casts his commander, Sidisi Brood Tyrant.
So we have a word for enemies to mutilated for military services. Furnitures.
I can't see what he milled, but it was 3 creatures, so he get a zombie. Going to combat, Hermit Druid attacks Ashiok for 1. Chain land drops Llanowar Waste. He head into combat, killing Ashiok with a rat and sending the other one to me. In second main, he casts his own CDC. He mills Oracle of Muldaya, a forest and schools, creating a zombie. Kirby land drops Misty Rain Forest, cracking it for Underground Sea. He get a plant in the process. He then casts his own CDC. Entering the battlefield, he mills Gitrog, Polluted Delta, and Cabal Coffers. He gets a zombie and a plant before passing. I draw, sadly miss my land drop, and pass.
I'm gonna work on it. And by plan, I mean getting my land drop, don't kill me.
Nick land drops an island and casts Incubation Druid. Free from Ashiok, he casts Wood Elves. Entering the battlefield, he gets a basic forest as he can't find either Breeding Pool or the Triumph in the deck. He then activates the Hermit Druid, milling 3 cards until he hits a basic island. He does not get a zombie. Chain land drops Field of the Dead. Heading into combat, he sends CDC and 2 rats to me. CDC triggers, and he mills 2 rats in a waterlogged grove. I then take 9.
I get a Zombo, and here comes Moon Unit Zombo.
Moon Unit? Is that
Moon Unit
reference
Zamba.
to something?
It might be. Well, you got Frank Zamba, you got Moon Unit Zamba, you got the Weasel Zamba off to the side here.
I don't.
The Zamba thing.
In second main, Chain casts Ramunap Excavator. Kirby land drops Breeding Pool tapped. He then casts Tamio, Collector of Tales. He -3 Tamio to return the Gitrog monster to his hand from the grave. For his combat step, CDC attacks Nick, who agreed not to block. Kirby mills Rezaket, Intuition, and Urborg. He gets a plant and a zombie. See? So good. At the end step, I cast Muslim's Secrets. I have 1 creature in my graveyard and use it to tutor Entomb. I then cast the said Entomb to put life from the loam in my graveyard. I then untap and replace my draw for turn with Dredge. I mill a Forest, Wall Shaper, and Emergent Zone. It's not the fastest plan, but it's a plan. In my main phase, I cast life from the loam, getting back the Forest, a Snow Island, and a Crypt of Agadim. I then drop the Crypt and pass. Nick casts Liliana, untouched by death. He then casts Undead Ogre. Looking to get a 3rd zombie, he goes to combat, and CDC attacks Chain. He mills Champion of Stray Souls, Muldrota, and Vision of Beyond. In second main, Nick -2 Liliana to give Turn Timber Sower -3/-3 until end of turn. He then casts Traverse the Ulvenval with Delirium. He tutors for Sir Conrad the Grim, the boogeyman of the table. Chain land drops Nurturing Peatland. Going to combat, he sends CDC to Kirby. He mills Azusa, Spider Spawning, and Fitted Pool. Kirby blocks with a plant. Chain pass after that. Kirby land drops City of Brass, which he refers to as Neo Royal House of Pricey Cardboard, which made me happy. He +1 Tamio, naming CDC Undead Vizier. He reveals and mills Bloom Tender, Glenelenda, and Bayou, which gives him a zombie. He then casts Diregraph Captain. Heading into combat, 2 zombies attack Liliana, and Nick blocks with Wood Elves, Hermit Druid, and 2 more zombies. They all trade, the captain loses 2 life to Nick, and the ogre then loses him 2 more to draw. In second main, Kirby casts Eternal Witness. Entering the battlefield, he gets Cabal Coffers to his hand. I land drop a Forest, and cast the Gistrog monster. I land drop a Snow-Covered Island as my second land and pass. Nick land drops a Twilight Mire. He then casts Titan's Nest. It allows him to delve 3 and cast Sir Conrad the Grim. After that, he casts Diabolic Vision. He picks 1 from his top 5 to add to his hand and rearrange the rest. He then +1 Liliana to mill his top 3, which includes the range assistant as the only creature. CDC makes a zombie and Conrad pings us for 1. He decides not to attack and pass. Chain casts the Fine Half to return Azusa and Schools to his hand. He then casts Azusa Lost but Seeking, before playing Fitted Pool and Waterlogged Grove from his graveyard as land for turns. Each of them triggers Field of the Dead. He then goes to combat, sending 2 rats and CDC to me. Chain mills Negate, Overgrown Tomb, and Nature's Claim, missing the zombie. I'm able to block for the first time and kill CDC with Gitrog, taking 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna block Sidisi.
Are you sure you want to do that?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because you have attacked me every turn since the start of the game. So yeah, I will do that.
No, I attacked somebody else once.
Okay.
Sidisi, okay, Sidisi dead.
On his turn, Kirby -3 Tamio to get back Rezakat to his hand. As we all know, the Scavenging Ooze is coming. He then drops Cabal Coffers and uses it to cast Rezakat the Full-Blooded. He thinks a bit about it, but decides to pass after that. At my upkeep, Gitrog triggers and I sacrifice Urborg as I don't want to turbo ramp my opponents, especially since I don't even run coffers in the list. It causes me to draw a card.
I'm gonna sack my Urborg.
No!
I'm gonna draw a card for Gitrog.
I was gonna help you out too.
I don't care.
I'll then drop a Llanowar Waste and cast my beautiful Phyrexian Soul Ring by Proxylab. I finally cast my own commander. Entering the battlefield, I mill Path of Ancestry, Gisson Geralf, and a Forest. I get a zombie and Conrad deals us 1 damage. I also draw from Gitrog, seeing the land hit the graveyard. I replace the draw to dredge life from the loam. This causes me to mill Beastmaster Ascension, Doom Whisperer, and Reflecting Pool, getting the same triggers, drawing regularly this time. I then cast life from the loam to get Reflecting Pool, Urborg, and a Forest to my hand. I use my second land drop for Reflecting Pool. Finally able to attack, I send Gitrog to Nick and he blocks with a zombie. We take 1 from Conrad and Nick loses 1 and draws from the Ogre. At Nick's upkeep, he puts a Forest from the top of his library into the graveyard. He +1 Liliana, milling 2 lands and no creatures. He uses the Titan's Nest to delve 6, casting Stitzer's Geralf and then Time Reversal. Chain reacts first, sacrificing his peatland to draw a card. He then passes priority, and Kirby reacts, fetching with Rezakat by sacrificing the Witness. Conrad deals us 1 damage.
A removal for Conrad would be sweet.
Yeah.
That would be pretty swell.
Kirby then casts the 2/3 card, Disallow. This spell is countered and we live another day. A bit out of gas, Nick activates Conrad twice. Me and Kirby mill 2 creatures, getting 2 zombies each. Chain and Nick do not mill creatures, so Conrad deals us a total of 4. On his turn, Chain plays 3 lands from the graveyard. Field of the Dead creates 3 zombies. He then casts Scavenging Ooze. And for his combat step, sends 5 zombies to Liliana, which Nick blocks with 3 of them with Geralf, Sidisi, and Conrad. Conrad triggers on the 3 zombie dying. At the end step, Kirby fetches with Rezakat. Kirby then untaps and draws. He then drops a Swamp and casts an overloaded Cyclonic Rift. He is then free to attack and full swings Nick. He mills Avengal Lich, Filth, and Rift Sweeper, and Nick then takes 23 points of damage. For my turn, I'll then drop a Forest and recast Soul Ring. I then recast CDC. Entering the battlefield, I mill Court of Calling, Ash Barrens, and Idron Crab.
Yeah, I can hear the sirens. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're getting close.
They're getting close.
Oh, yep, there they are. Oh, yeah, I just saw a really old fire truck with Santa Claus on it, so I don't think it's an emergency.
I then cast Altar of Dementia, followed by Dead Baron. I pass. Nick recasts Titan's Nest. He then casts Incubation Druid, delving 1, and follow it up with Sir Conrad the Grim, delving 3. In reaction to Conrad, I sacrifice my zombie token to mill myself for 3. Hitting a creature, I get a zombie and can repeat the process as long as I do not whiff. I do it 6 times, hitting Gary on the last one and deciding that if something can save me, it's this card. Kirby has a reaction as well. He uses Rezakat once before Conrad is on the table. Conrad resolves and Nick passes. Chain untaps and casts Azusa again. He land drops his own Urborg, a Watery Grave, and a basic Swamp. He gets 3 zombies. He recasts Scavenging Ooze, and then delves 4 to cast Tasigur the Golden Fang. None of the delved cards are creatures. After that, he casts 2 Rat Colony, and then shifts the turn to Kirby. Kirby land drops a Tropical Island, before casting Craterhoof Behemoth. Entering the battlefield, all creatures gain +9/+9 and trample. Kirby's got Swamp Walk from the Filth in his graveyard, making it unblockable. Kirby splits his attackers to everyone, and we die to a zombie stampede. Well played. Looking back at this game, as I expected, Conrad became a problem real quick when all players are heavy on creatures and self-milling. We didn't get to see Nick do some Gerard tricks, but he still pulled his weight. Chain had an alright game, but playing against 3 other heavy board decks, the rats had difficulty going through. He would have needed evasion that wasn't fear, like flying or swamp walk. For myself, I self-milled into missing my land drops. I should have held off Ashiok on turn 3 considering the rats on board, but I couldn't know I had 3 lands on top. I got into the game around turn 6, but by then I was a bit late to the party. Finally, our winner for today, Kirby didn't even win with the combo. Rezakat is a very powerful card, and once he 2-stored more than 2 times, we were expecting the game to end really soon. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and thank you to today's guest for playing the Sultai deathmatch. It was a ton of fun. Make sure to like for more videos, look up each of these wonderful channels, take care, and see you soon.
Yeah, they're getting close. Well, that's a big inflatable Santa Claus. We might want to put a hold on this till it gets by. It's quite loud.
That's an ambulance coming for Nick and Neo.
Yeah, we're left.